إذ انتبذت من أهلها مكانا شرقيا
نعم.
فاتخذت من دونهم حجابا فأرسلنا إليها روحنا فتمثل لها بشرا سويا قالت إني أعوذ بالرحمن منك إن كنت تقيا.
نعم.
قال إنما أنا رسول ربك لأهب لك غلاما زكيا. قالت أن يكون لي غلام ولم يمسسني بشر ولم أك بغيا.
نعم.
قال كذلك قال ربك هو علي هين ولنجعله آية للناس ورحمة منا وكان أمرا قضيا. فحملته فانتبذت به مكانا قصيا فأجاءها المخاض إلى جذع النخلة قالت يا ليتني مت قبل هذا وكنت نسيا منسيا. فناديها من تحتها ألا تحزني قد جعل ربك تحتك سريا.
نعم.
وهزي إليك بجذع النخلة تساقط عليك رطبا جنيا.
نعم.
فكلي واشربي وقري عينا. فإما ترين من البشر أحدا فقولي إني نذرت للرحمن صوما فلنكلم اليوم إنسيا. فأتت.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم عبد الله ورسوله. We thank the Almighty Allah for giving us another opportunity to be here. We thank Him for His mercies that He's bestowed upon us. We bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except the Almighty Allah. We also bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his servant and his messenger. Whosoever the Almighty Allah guides is really guided, and whosoever goes astray has nobody to blame but themselves. Today is the 22nd day of Ramadan, 1441 years after the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It also corresponds with the 15th of May 2020. Today is the 21st day of our series. We are talking about the rights of women in Islam. Yesterday, we saw some spiritual rights that the Muslim woman has in terms of Islam seeing her as a human being just like the man. Islam also acknowledges her iman, her faith. Islam also acknowledges the fact that when she does good deeds, it's going to be accepted irrespective of whether she's a female. And she is going to be rewarded according to her actions and deeds, not according to her gender. And we also saw her right to enter Jannah. Yes, women are going to enter Jannah. And we narrated a hadith where the Prophet Muhammad said, إِذَا صَلَّتِ الْمَرْأَةُ خَمْسَهَا وَصَامَتْ شَهْرَهَا وَحَفِظَتْ فَرْجَهَا وَأَطَاعَتْ زَوْجَهَا قِيلَ لَهَا ادْخُلِ الْجَنَّةَ مِنْ أَيِّ أَبْوَابِهَا الثَّمَانِيَةِ شِئْتِ. If a Muslim woman observes her prayer, she observes her fast, she protects her chastity, and then she respects her husband, all the doors of Jannah, the 8 doors of Jannah will be open for her to choose which one she's going to enter from. Then we came to some, civil rights that the Muslim woman has. And the first one, we looked at her rights to education. And we looked at her right when she is a sister in her father's house, that the father will not prefer her over her brothers or her brothers over her. There is the tendency that you might love one of your children more than the other. Yes, it is natural. But then when it comes to feeding them, clothing them, educating them, giving them gifts, then they are equal there. It's the same as, getting married to two wives. You definitely love one more than the other, but in terms of upbringing, you must take care of them both equally. So we narrated the hadith of Nu'man ibn Bashir, where he called upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a witness at a ceremony that he was giving a gift to one of his children. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked him, this gift that you are giving to this particular child, is it something that you are giving to all your children, or is just specifically for this child? Nu'man said it is specifically for this child. Then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, I'm not going to be a witness upon corruption. If you're going to give a gift, give it to all of them. Don't, give some to someone and leave the others. So we looked at also her right to choose a husband. In Islam, you can't force a girl to get married to who you want, you the father or you the mother. No. What you do is you just encourage her to look to see the positive sides of the gentleman you want her to marry. That's what you do. But then to force her, to make it compulsory upon her to marry a young man that you see when she doesn't love him, it's not accepted in Islam. So those fathers who force their daughters, yes, in Islam there is the marriage of the wali. It's there. There is the consent of the wali. Yes, it is there. Islam has given the wali that power. But then the person who is going to live in that marriage or stay in that marriage is the girl. So Islam takes her decision paramount in that. Because the Prophet Muhammad said, a virgin girl is not to be married off without her consent. And her consent is when she keeps quiet. Because she's a virgin and she's shy. And when you ask her, this man has come to seek your hand in marriage, or we want you to get married to so and so, what do you think? And then she smiles. It means she loves him. But then if she turns her face upside down, don't force her. But then the other woman who happens to be, a veteran, a divorcee, an older woman, she must open her mouth and say, yes, I want him or I don't want him. But does that mean that the virgin girl, if she opens her mouth and say, yes, I want him, is it the marriage nullified? No, the marriage is not nullified. Just that it is made easy for her in her response. Maybe because she's shy, she will not be able to utter the words that, yes, I really love him. But then in the Hanafi school of thought, at the marriage ceremony, the girl must be asked for her. She must mention that, yes, I want to marry him. So I didn't know of that until I came to the United States, where I witnessed a couple of marriage ceremonies between the Indo-Pakistan community here and in the young man. So these three people or these four people, the father of the girl or her wali, and then the wakil of the boy or the husband, and then the imam who is going to officiate, and then the boy who is going to get married. They are all in the masjid. And then the girl who is supposed to be married, she is also in the masjid. And then these four men go to where the girl is sitting. And then the imam will ask her, will ask the father publicly that this man is your father or is your wali. Yes. And then this gentleman has come to ask your hand in marriage. Yes. And then this is his wakil. Yes. Do you accept? The girl must say yes. That is from the Hanafi school of thought. And I saw it here in the United States. It was a very beautiful ceremony you find. So the girl has a right to choose whoever she wants. And as we said yesterday, ladies, be careful who you are choosing. The fact that Islam has given you the right to choose doesn't mean you can't consult your parents or people who are your wakil, because you might not be able to know everything about us as men. Definitely, you might not be able to know everything. There are some things that we hide from you, so you should be able to consult. I'm having problems with my network, so it keeps on going up and down, up and down. So bear with me today. I don't know why, what is happening. I don't know. So bear with me. So the woman has a right to a husband, and she has the right to choose whoever she wants to get married to, and that's it. Alhamdulillah. Now we will enter the marital home. The woman has a right for sexual intimacy. Hakul istimta. She has the right to sexual intimacy. You don't marry a woman and then leave her like a firewood. During the time of Umar bin Khattab, a woman came and then she said, "Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, my husband, he fasts during the day and then he prays at night. He fasts during the day, he prays at night." Then Umar said, "Ni'ma rajul, wow, you've got a very perfect husband, a very good husband. A husband who fasts during the day and then he prays at night. This is a good man." The woman repeated, "Amir al-Mu'mineen, my husband, he fasts during the day and then he prays at night." Umar said, "No, you found a very good husband." Then one of the people sitting next to Umar said, "Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I think the woman has brought a complaint. She didn't come here to praise her husband. What she means is that her husband doesn't have time for her. During the day," my network today is giving me problems, and I don't want to end the broadcast and restart it again. The woman said, "Amir al-Mu'mineen, my husband, he prays at night and then he fasts during the day." So the man said, "Amir al-Mu'mineen, the woman is not praising her husband. She's not bringing a compliment here about her husband. She's rather complaining. The man doesn't have time for her. It is not a sign of Iman that you don't go near your wife. Some men, they are with their wives because of their wickedness. The woman is there. She needs intimacy. She needs closeness from her husband. He doesn't give it to her as a form of punishment. Some men forget that their wives have feelings. Sometimes it so happens when a man has multiple wives, if he's with one that he loves more than the other, and most often if it is the younger one, the young girl, when when it is her time for sleep, he comes home around 5:30 p.m. But if he is with Uwargida, or the older one, or the one that she's less, appealing to him, he will come home at 10:30 p.m. And then when he comes home that is when his sudais and his shurain become activated. Normally, when he's praying nafila, but then when the day that he's with that woman, that is when his sudais and his shurain is activated. He will activate it very well. Don't do that. It is her right. And then do you know one astonishing thing? The hadith that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, if a woman is being called by her husband and then she refuses at night, then the angels curse her. This is one of the hadiths that we've memorized. So if his wife is not in the mood, or she's sick, or she gives an excuse, he remembers that hadith verbatim. Even the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, if your husband calls you and then you refuse, the angels will be cursing you. He will remember that hadith verbatim. And then the hadith of you marry 4 wives. Yes, as for men, this hadith, we know it very well. We know it and its chain of narrations and all the different variations of the chains of narrations and all the interpretation around these 2 hadith. Perfect. Hadith of marrying 4 and hadith of if your husband calls you to bed and then you refuse, the angels will curse you. We don't have a hadith that says if a woman husband and then he refuses, the angels will curse him. We don't have a hadith like that. But then it is sin. It is a sin that if you don't have any excuse, maybe you are sick, maybe you are tired, maybe for one reason or the other, tangible reason, if you have, then that's different. But then if you don't have any reason, this lady has done all that she can do She prepared your food. She dressed sexily. She does everything for you. Everything that would pull your attention. You are still not seeing it. My network today is very, very bad. You are still not seeing it. What the woman is doing is either you are on the phone chatting with unnecessary people, or your mind is on the television, or you are thinking about Chelsea and Manchester United. The woman has that right. So the man said, Amir al-Mu'minin, I think the woman is bringing a complaint about her husband. She's not complimenting her husband. So Umar said, the way you were able to understand her problem, what solution do you suggest? He said, if a man has 4 wives, and then he's going to spend one night each with each and every one of them, one night, then he's going to spend one night. So what he's suggesting is the woman should be as one wife, and then his fasting and then his prayer at night becomes the 3 other wives. So after every 3 days, he must come closer to his wife. 3 days, he will fast and pray at night. On the 4th night, it is her night. No fasting, no tahajjud. It is her time. Let me tell you, it is not an act or a sign of promiscuity if a woman wants to have intimacy with her husband, if she initiates it. So long as it's her husband, she has entitlement to his body. Please, men, the wife also has that right. In as much as you also have the right to her body, she also has a right to your body. Don't feel that because that hadith said if a man calls his wife, it doesn't apply if a woman calls to her husband. The only difference is that we don't have a hadith that says the angels will curse him. But then you are trampling upon her rights. And the Almighty Allah will question you for that. My network today is sabotaging me. The Almighty Allah safeguard us. Another right that the Muslim woman has is feeding, clothing, and accommodation. It is not the responsibility of the woman to provide a home. Neither is it her responsibility to feed people, the family. Neither is it her responsibility to clothe the family. It is not her responsibility. It is your responsibility. It is rather her right. It is her right to a home. It is her right to a cloth. It is her right to food. Bil ma'ruf, according to your capabilities. Don't do something beyond your means, men. And the woman too, don't ask something beyond the means of your husband. If you are well to do, provide for your family. Why is it that you are well to do, you have the means, you have the resource, but then your wife is always in rags? Your house is always in tatters. Your children look like destitutes. You have the money, you have the means, but then your family is not enjoying anything of your wealth. You are well to do. You have it. The Almighty Allah has blessed you with all this wealth, but then your family, they don't see it. Some men, when they come home, when they are going to count their monies, they enter the toilet for 3 hours. He is in the toilet for 3 hours. You knock the door, you hear it is as if he is in labor, he is coming to give birth. But no, he is counting money. Some men, they are in the same room with their wives, but then their wives don't know where they keep their monies. Some men are in the room with his wife. If he's going out, he will lock his wardrobe. He will lock the wardrobe with the key and then padlock. My network today is disturbing me. Some men, he is in the home with his wife. His wife doesn't know anything about his finances. His children do not know anything about his finances. He hardly pays their school fees. He hardly clothes them and feeds them. Someone, when the wife was brought to him, All the kind lefe that was brought, that is it. He has never bought anything for her. Not even one day romantically pass through the market and then see, oh, this dressing or this cloth is very, very nice and beautiful. Why don't I buy it for my wife? If your wife dresses beautifully at home, it is for you. How do you feel when you are leaving the house in the morning? The dress that your wife wore is the same dress that you came back home to come and meet her. How will you feel? And so what? And so what? Some women wear the same dress for Eid 3 years consecutively. And their husbands have it. I'm not talking about the husbands who are not well-to-do. I'm talking about the husbands who the Almighty Allah have blessed. But because of POP, because of being miserly and stingy, someone would drink cocoa and aquadu. Cocoa with banana. Someone would drink tea with both roads. Why? You don't want people to know you don't want your family to know that you are blessed. You intentionally wear tattered clothes. When people talk, you say, Iman. Stay in this world as if you are a stranger. So in this world, we didn't come to stretch our legs. So there's no need for me to eat good food, my family to eat good food. I'm nurturing their Iman. You are lying. You are not nurturing their Iman. You are just stingy. That's all. Me, my home, people do not eat meat. You don't eat fish. And you are well-to-do. It's so painful that you find wives of well-to-do men going out to go and borrow food from their next door neighbor. Going to go and borrow. I'm trying to see if I can get a better position for my network. It's disturbing me today, seriously. So the wife has that right to feeding, clothing, and accommodation. If the Almighty Allah has blessed you, move into a bigger apartment. Let your wife enjoy the wealth, the queen that she is. Let her enjoy it. When you're coming back home from town, even if you put down, money for her, buy something. Buy some chocolates. Buy some ice cream. Do it. Buy meat. Bring it home. Let the kids enjoy. But then no. Even plantain chips you won't buy and bring it home. Plantain chips, popcorn you won't buy. Popcorn 50 pesos you won't buy. You come home empty-handed. Some men are so wicked and so wicked that he is well-to-do, but then he will give his wife 10 Ghana CD, and then he expects her to use that 10 Ghana CDs to go to the market, buy food stuff, come and cook for him a sumptuous meal. He will wash 10 and insert 5. And at the end of the day too, he will complain, me and them be daddy by, me and be kauri by. And his children and his family, his mother and his father, no, they don't enjoy anything out of his estate, out of his wealth. His wife will wear the same clothing for 5 years. It will get torn. She will bring a tailor. The tailor will sew. It will get torn here. Sorry, my network today is affecting the flow of the program. This man is wealth, but then no, he doesn't help the family. Well, like, it is her right for her to feed her, clothe her, and give her peace of mind. And then wal mu'ashara, some men will give you clothing, they'll give you food, they'll give you accommodation, but then you don't have peace of mind in the house. You find some when they are living in posh homes, they ride posh cars, they wear nice clothing, but then they don't know who their husbands are. Because the husband doesn't have time for her. He leaves home 4 a.m., going to the market, going to work. Before the jeans, the devils of the office, before they vacate and leave, he's already there. And then he comes home 12 a.m. And then he spends the next 4 hours just trying to sleep and rest. So if the wife has any form of discussion, like it's not there. If the woman needs some form of respite, some form of sweet talking, no. Some men, they don't chat with their wives. He will give you everything that you want, but no. I've given you money, I've given you a house, I've given you a car. What else do you need? What is money? She needs you. She didn't marry the money, she married you. Sit with your wife, mu'ashara bil ma'ruf. Sweet talk her. Tickle her ears. Talk romantic to her. Your relationship with her should not be only about sex. No. Sit with this woman. Talk nicely with her. Have time with her. Play with her. Joke with her. Some men, if they come home, his face like Adomi Bridge. The moment time for coming home is near, his wife's heartbeat start going up. The children hair is horn. He who is in the house playing, he vanishes and passes at the back. The one who is at the back enters the room. The one who is in the room sleeps under because lion has entered. He doesn't have, quality time for his children, for his wife. Some men do not eat with their wives. To put his hands in the same bowl to eat with his wife, he feels big. Wallahi, she will disrespect me. Some men do not bath with their wives. Wallahi, some time ago, someone called my old man and he said, Sheikh, there is this non-Muslim, a Muslim called my father to ask him a question. And he said, Sheikh, Wallahi, there is this man in our house. He's a non-Muslim. He's this level of his is too disgusting. He does something which is very, very disgusting. So my father asked him, what this non-Muslim does that is disgusting? He said, this non-Muslim, anytime he's going to bath, he goes and bath with his wife. This Muslim man in the same compound house as this Muslim, the non-Muslim, if he's going to bath, he goes and bath with his wife. He takes the bucket. He has wrapped his towel around his waist. She's holding the soap and then the sponges, and then he will hold the water. They will enter to the bathroom together, and then they will bath. They are bathing and then they are chatting in the bathroom, and then they will come out, and then he will hold the buckets again in front, and then she will be behind chatting until they enter their room. A Muslim man said, this is disgusting. My old man listened to him and then he didn't know what to tell him. Muslim men, bath with your wives. Some women do the nakedness of their husbands. Because night and then he switched off the light. She doesn't know he's. And that's a problem. Some women have not ever seen the smile on the faces of their husbands before. Some women have never seen the smile of the face of their husbands. They've never seen it before. It is non-existent. Some women only see their husbands laugh outside. But inside, indoors, he doesn't laugh. He's a general. He's a commander. His face is always kusum. Men, dress, sit in the house, dress nicely for your wife. Let her dress for her. Dress for her. It's important. Dress for her. But then, If you expect only she to dress for you and be nice for you, then you've not done any justice for her. You've not done any justice for her. So dress for your wife. Look nice for her. Look handsome for her. It's very, very important. It is her right over you. Ibn Abbas was one day, dressing, combing his hair, and then he was looking nice. And then one of the students said, "Hey, Ibn Abbas, you combing your hair, looking nice?" He said, "Yes, I want to look nice for my wife." He said, "Hey, really?" He said, "Yes." He said, the Quran said, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَلِرِجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةً. He said, the women have an equal right over the men, بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, with a proportion, with good. So if you want your wife to dress neatly, nicely, sexily for you, you should also dress neatly, nicely, sexily for her. Some men will come from the market, and then the stench, and then the sweat and everything, that is what he is coming to. Stay in the room with the wife. He won't bath, he won't change his clothes. That's what he's going to sleep on the bed with her. You are trying to embrace her with, when she had bathed and cleaned herself, and then she's nice, you are dirty, you are smelling, and then you are pulling her close to you, and then she's refusing, and then you recite that hadith for her. When the man calls his wife and then she doesn't refuse, the angels will curse her. The angels are rather cursing you, because you are giving her malaria, you are giving her catarrh. For your own health, go and bath. Look at the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the way he lived with his wives. Muashara. Aisha said there's this hadith where a group of men came and then they were sword playing in the masjid. And Aisha was with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet asked her, "Do you want to watch?" She said yes. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam stood in front of her at her door, because when you open her door, that's the masjid straight for her. He stood in front of her at her door, but then he lowered himself because he was taller than her. And then she placed her chin on his shoulder like this so that she is watching. So she was watching the games with her husband. Some men do not take a stroll with their wives. Even if he is going out and then she says, "Oh, let me come and see you off to the taxi rank." Stay home. To even let her see him off. At least hold his bag for him from the house, pass through the community to where he's going to take a car, and then she returns home. No, he doesn't agree. No, he wouldn't agree. How much more taking a stroll with her? Problem. How much more even going with her to town? How much more going with her to the shopping mall? How much more going with her to some activities that are worldly but not haram? No. And that's very, very painful. Aisha placed her chin on the shoulder of her husband, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to watch a group of men playing with swords or dancing with swords. Some men, their wives cannot even touch them because he is gold. If she touches him, "Hey, Lavia, what is it?" So she has a husband, but then she's a slave again. There is another point too, which is mu'anasatuha hatta fil hayd. Giving her comfort when she's even menstruating. Some men, when their wives are menstruating, sadaqallah azim, she becomes an enemy. He doesn't eat her food. He doesn't speak to her. No, she's menstruating. No, you don't know. When a woman is menstruating, the only thing is you don't have penetration. That's the only thing you don't do. When a woman is menstruating, the only thing you don't have is penetration. That's it. But then romance, hold her, kiss her, hug her, you can do that. Eat her food, play with her, joke with her, bath with her. Yes, you can do it. The only thing Islam tells you not to do is to go beyond what is between the navel and then the thighs. That's the only thing. When a woman is menstruating in Islam, she's not filthy. Understand that. She has just been paused from doing some worship activities, not all, some. Like praying, like fasting. And then having, sexual relations with her husband. Even the sexual relations, it's only penetration that Islam abhors when a woman is in her menses. But then to kiss her, hold her, romance her, play with her, Islam allows that. So my brother, don't tell me it is a sign of Iman when your wife is menstruating. Don't come near me, don't come near me. You are menstruating. No. That is your thinking, but that's not Islam. The woman in her menses has smooth swings. And then you need to understand that. You need to understand and accommodate her. She will do to you things in her menses that when she is not in her menses, she will not do. It's like that. So that is why Islam, because in some jurisdictions, when a woman is in the menses, they take her out of the house and then she stays somewhere outside. It's only when she finishes her menses, that is when she is accommodated back in the house. But in Islam, if your wife is in her menses, you stay with her. Let me tell you, even if you have two wives, and then the day of the sleeping of one comes and then she is in her menses, you are supposed to stay with her. Okay, someone will say, Sheikh, what if, the mood comes in? Stay with her. Just romance her, that's it. But if she gives you permission to go and see the other wife, that's different. Yes, permission. She will have to give you permission. Because it is her time. If you use her time for other person, it becomes a problem. So can I hide there and go and do it? That's why I don't know why I have two wives. But the other one is your wife too. So if you go and have any sexual intimacy with your other wife when you are with, the first wife, there's no sin upon you. There's no sin upon you. So if a woman is in her menses, she needs care and attention too. Don't drive her away. Eat her food. Accommodate her. Tolerate her. Talk nice to her. Aisha said, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, anytime any one of us is in her menses and then he's with us and then he wants to enjoy himself, he lets us tie a wrapper around our waist from our navel to our thighs. These are the places that he doesn't go touch or go to, but then the other parts of our body is available for him. The intimacy there is not as important as taking care of her psychologically when she's in her menses. It's a right. And sometimes we men feel that some of these things are not important. Wallahi, they are important. Because of the difference in makeup of men and women, the physiological differences between men and women, the psychological differences between men and women, sometimes we don't understand each other. Sometimes women will be doing some things that is detriment to the happiness of the woman, but we don't know that we are doing that. And then sometimes the women will be doing something to us and they don't know that they are doing something wrong to us. So the onus is upon a husband and a wife to accommodate each other. If your wife does something to you out of the blue that normally she doesn't do, that doesn't mean that the whole world must stand still. No. That is why some people say that the man is logical and the woman is emotional. The man calculates and the woman emotes. That's the difference. That is why when a man or when a woman tells you, get out, I don't love you, she's lying. If your wife tells you, get out, I don't love you, leave, My brother, don't leave. Don't pack your bags. If you pack your bags, she will kill you. It is what she is feeling at that time. That doesn't mean that is the general feeling she's having for you. If your wife says to you bad when she's in her menses, that is what she's feeling at that time. At that particular time. That is her emotions that she's expressed. The reality is that she loves you. That is why a woman will tell a man, please leave, get out. She loves him, and then he messes up or he does something wrong. She tells him, leave, get out. He will leave, and then she will also say, why did he leave? When she told him to leave. So it is like that. And men, we need to understand that. That is why also when a man tells you, a woman, you are stupid. No, it doesn't mean you are a stupid creature. He just calculated and analyzed that at that particular time, you seem to be acting a little bit stupid. But that is not his verdict upon you that you are a stupid creature. The man is logical and the woman is emotional. So we need to understand these things. Until we understand these, psychological, physiological differences between a man and a woman, we will always be at loggerheads. That is why we are always fighting. Because I am seeing things from my perspective. My wife is also seeing things from her perspective. We are refusing to accommodate each other and understand each other and look at things from each other's perspective. That is why we are always fighting. But then if we sit down and then we analyze what my wife is saying, no, this woman, I've married her and then we've been together for some time now. And then today she tells me, I don't like her. But naturally she doesn't speak like that. So it means maybe something is wrong. And let me tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy at all trying to decipher what our wives want. It's not easy. Sometimes the woman will do it deliberately, and then doing it deliberately, that is how she was created. You just need to accommodate her. There is a brother who was getting married, and then I was counseling him. And I told him that, you see your wife, be patient with her. Take her as your 2-year-old daughter. You find things easy. The guy was like, Sheikh, patience. I should be patient with her and then take her as my 2-year-old daughter. Oh, Sheikh. I reiterated that to him. That women are totally different from men. Totally different with human beings. But the men, women are weird and men are strange. Yes, it's a fact. Men are strange. Women are weird. So after 1 month of marriage, this young man called me. He said, Sheikh, yesterday something happened in my house. I said, what is it? He said, my wife woke me around 2 a.m. They were sleeping. After 1 month of marriage, 1 month, they were still in their honeymoon. The woman woke him up around 2 a.m. that she get up. He was scared. Thank you very much, Hadia. He was scared. He woke up scared. Why? She said, I said, what is happening? Baby, what's going on? What's happening? Can't you sleep? What's disturbing you? Did you have a nightmare? He was trying to know what is wrong. What happened? Why did she wake him up at 2 a.m.? She said, she said, I will drink water. She woke him up around 2 a.m. to tell him she would drink water. He said, Sheikh, when she said she would drink water, she woke me up. I've been living my life. Nobody has ever woken me up around 12 a.m. to tell me anything. And then she woke me up around 2 a.m. to tell me she would drink water. I was sitting on the bed and I was vibrating. He said he was on the bed for about 5 minutes and then he was vibrating. And then after 5 minutes, she told him, oh, I said I'll drink water. And then he said, lo and behold, he was seeing me in his mind's eye. Be patient, be patient, be patient. He said, Sheikh, I was seeing you in my eyes and you were telling me, be patient. Take her as a 2-year-old. Take her as a 2-year-old girl. Take her as your daughter. And then he said, I was vibrating on the bed. And then she told him, I'll drink water. So he left the bedroom, went to the kitchen, opened the refrigerator, brought her water, sachet water, pure water. He brought it to her. He gave it to her. And then she said, Yagami Baki, tear it open for me. He opened the water, gave it to her. She drank, and then she gave him back the polythene bag. She said, Karibi. So he took it. He threw it against the wall in the room, and then he slept. She slept, and then he sat on the bed for the next 10 minutes. At her wonderfully. He was amazed. Wow, what is this? So in the morning, he couldn't wait to call me to narrate to me that this is what his wife has done. That is the way the Almighty Allah created them. You cannot get her 100% straight. Same way, you can never be 100% straight. You just need to complement each other and accommodate each other. That's it. Take her as your daughter. You see, women, sometimes you relate with them as your grandmother. Your wife, sometimes you relate with her as your grandmother. Sometimes you relate with her as your mother. Sometimes you relate with her as your wife. Sometimes you relate with her as a daughter. Sometimes you relate with her as a friend. Sometimes you relate with her as a girlfriend. You mix it up. It depends on the mood and then the situations and then the conditions. If you say you are Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya Hasanatan, straightforward, you divorce women 100 times. You need to understand this. You need to understand this. If you don't understand this, wallahi, you will always, not have peace of mind in your house. Sometimes, the woman, you need to just pretend as if you didn't see her do it or you didn't see her say it. Women have their own pieces of nitty-gritties in the room. Sometimes she will hide something in a box. If she wants you to see it, she'll make it public. But she doesn't want you to see it. And if you open it too, it is earrings and then bangles. It's nothing. It's nothing. Sometimes your wife will pick something, put it in a bag, lock the bag with keys and padlock, and then you think it is something. Hey, me, I want to see. Ni nasongani, it, and then it is shoe. That's how women are. Some women, you are with them, and then she will sit down quiet. You ask her, what is it? It's nothing. What is it? Please tell me, baby. What's wrong? Oh, it's nothing. Oh, please tell me, what's it? Talk. I'm listening to you. When I prepared the food, I wasted my time. I prepared the food, and then you didn't eat all. Not knowing you left only one morsel. You ate 95% of the food. Because you didn't eat 5%, she has become emotional. But that doesn't mean that, but I ate the food, I ate 95%, this small part that I didn't eat, you are going to create problems. The moment she starts complaining that, oh, you didn't eat all the food, you tell her, oh, in Islam, you don't overeat. So use that. Use that. Oh, in Islam, you don't overeat. But then the food, it was marvelous. And then you get her attention. That is why in Islam, it is accepted for a man to lie to his wife to make her happy. So long as that lie will not be detrimental tomorrow. But then, to create jokes with your wife and then lie to her to keep your marriage safe, wallah, is accepted in Islam. If you are negotiating a peace deal between two people, Islam has given you the opportunity to tell a lie in a way that these people will come together and then there's going to be peace. So if you are with your wife, it's not all the truth that you must tell your wife, my brother. Understand this. وَعَاشِرُوهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Live with women with integrity, with truth, with good. It's very, very important. But the problem is that some of us men have become so masculine that we don't want to see and understand that. And then we hide behind the religion. Excuse me. And then make wrong interpretations of verses of the Quran and Hadith. That's what we do. We hide behind the Quran and Hadith, and then we create all kinds of nonsense. And that's the problem that we face. Another right that a Muslim woman has is that she is entitled to own a business. Yes. Oh, don't worry. My wife, she herself knows that she's weird, and I've been telling her she's weird. It is natural. That's the way they are. It's not going to be another problem. Don't worry. I'm not with her right now. I'm far away. So by the time I go back home, she will have forgotten. I have ways and means of, correcting. You should understand your wife to the extent that you know when she's happy, when she's sad, when she's in mood, and how to resolve it. The Prophet Muhammad told Aisha, he said, Aisha, I know when you are in a good mood, and I know when you are angry with me. The Prophet said, Aisha, when you are happy with me, I know it. When you are not happy with me, I know it. Aisha said, Ya Rasulullah, how? He told her, when you are happy with me, you say, Wa Rabbi Muhammad, I swear with the God of Muhammad. But then when you are not happy with me, you say, Wa Rabbi Ibrahim, I swear with the God of Ibrahim. She said, Ya Rasulullah, how did you know? The heart is still with you. It's just that the mouth that has had problems with you. Even the Prophet Muhammad had issues with his wives. You think you are safe? You think you are safe? You think that that is the sadaqah Allah azim? It is we outside, and then you call me sheikh. It is outside that we are sheikh. In the house we are not sheikh. Tell you. In the home we are not sheikh. In the house nobody calls me malam. Why will you call me malam in the room? My wife Laila, she doesn't call me malam. Different names. You meet me outside, you call me malam. My wife also calls me malam. What is the difference? What's the difference between you and my wife? No. In are not malam. We will remove it down. Outside, we put it. Because let me tell you, a man, you should understand one thing. The way the people outside will respect you is different from how your wife will respect you. Do you know why? Because the people outside, you don't get up and then take off your clothes. If you do it outside, you are a madman. If you do it inside the room, you are romantic. The same activity, different context, different decision, different definition, different verdicts. A woman has a right to property. Yes, your wife can be richer than you. It's acceptable in Islam. Your wife can own a business. Your wife in Islam can earn a living, a trade. She can do it. Even if you have all the wealth to take care of her, if there are some activities that the community needs your wife to do, Fabiha wa ni'ma, straightforward, do it. Do you know why? Zainab, the wife of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Zainab, the wife, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, that's Sahabi. His wife was rich, that she was paying zakah. She was paying zakah. Who are the ones who give out zakah? Rich or poor people? Rich. How did she become rich? She was a businesswoman. And then it was time for giving out the zakah, and then her husband, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, told her, okay, since it's time for zakah, give me the zakah. She told him, no, I won't give it to you. I'm going to ask the Prophet Muhammad that, is it possible that I'm going to give you the zakah? Do you deserve, or are you entitled to zakah? She went and then she asked the Prophet Muhammad, yes, you can give your husband zakah, but your husband cannot give you zakah because your upkeeping is the responsibility of your husband, but your husband's upkeeping is not your responsibility. Let me take this again. The responsibility of upkeeping in the house is the responsibility of the man. Even if the woman is richer than him, he is supposed to take care of her according to his means. So if your wife is a billionaire and then you are a thousandaire, you're supposed to take care of the house, her bill, according to your capabilities and abilities. If she needs anything else, she can do it from her money. But then your upkeeping is not under her care. So she must not help give you money. If she does so, she's doing you a favor. It's not because it's compulsory. So you give zakat to people who are not under your responsibility. That is why it is acceptable in Islam that a woman can give her poor husband zakat, but then the husband cannot give his wife zakat because originally to take care of her. And there's another thing too. That property, it belongs to her. It doesn't belong to you. You can't use the property the way you want. The fact that she's your wife doesn't mean, and she belongs to you doesn't mean her property belongs to you. You can use it anyhow. You can dip your hand into her coffers and pick whatever you want to pick. You can misuse her things anyhow you want. No. You need to ask permission. It belongs to her. Because when she dies, she has heirs, not only you. If she has children from another marriage, they will inherit her. If she has parents who are alive, they will inherit her. You are not the sole heir to her estate. That is why when she's alive, you are not entitled to just misuse anything. So your wife can be a businesswoman. She can have her money. She can dispose of her property. Fine, in consultation with you and advice. But then you cannot choose to do whatever you want to do with her money. Let me see. 59 minutes. We've spoken for almost 1 hour. Let's look at just one last, right of the Muslim woman, so that we call it a day. And then, inshallah, tomorrow we'll look at something different altogether. This right is the right of divorce. The woman has a right to seek for divorce. It's called al-khulu. The woman has that right, the right of divorce, al-khulu. And even though the man has a talaq, his talaq is 2. Sheikh, how much of a percentage will the new husband of the woman inherit compared to a son from a previous marriage? Because she has a son, he will inherit quarter of the property, so long as she has children outside, either with him or with another man. So long as she has children that she has given birth to, whether they are males or females, he will enjoy a quarter of the property. But then if she doesn't have children at all with him or with another man, he will take half of her property. So divorce. A woman came and then she was complaining about her husband. The man who put her into iddah, he will tell her, I've divorced you, but she'll be in her waiting period. When it is time for her divorce to end, he will return her back as a wife. So he was just pronouncing divorce upright center anyhow because he wanted to punish the woman. He didn't want to marry her. He didn't want her to still be his wife. And then he didn't want to divorce her so that another man will marry her. He doesn't want to do that. And we have some men like that. He is with his wife. He no longer loves her. He doesn't want to stay with her. Instead of divorcing her so that she will go and get married to another man, he wouldn't do that. Let's look at this. This is a whole long topic on its own, but let's tackle it in just 10 minutes and then we go. We have 3 things. We have at-talaq, that is in the hand of the man. Why is that most men kept saying the woman and her money and her property all belong to him? Man, please elaborate. No, it is the woman who belongs to him as his wife. And as his wife, belonging as his wife doesn't mean she's his property. She's his slave. No. Men must understand this. Zainab, the wife of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Islam gave her the right to do with her money what she wants, who she wants to give. He said, give it to me because I'm your husband. She said, no, I won't give it to you. I want to go and ask the prophet first. So if a woman is working, she's gainfully employed, and then she has her money, it is her money. It is not for you. She only consults you and seeks your counsel and advice when it comes to, using that money. And then you guide and then you help. That's it. It doesn't mean that if she says she's going to do sadaqah, you say, no, balaki sadaqah. No. She can do sadaqah. If she says she wants to, help build a mosque, she can do it. She says she has a brother, she wants to give some of her money to help her brother. You can't say no because it's not your money. So long as it is something good, acceptable in Islam. The only time you can prevent her is when she's doing something with the money that is not acceptable in Islam. Then you can stop her. But if she's using her money accordingly, then you don't have anything to say about that at all. When Islam says your wife belongs to you, it doesn't mean that she is your property as property. No, understand that. Men must understand that. She doesn't belong to you as your property where you can kick, boot, juice, whatever you want anyhow. No, Islam doesn't say that. She respects you. She reveres you as your wife and you being the head of the family. Yes, she must do that. But then her property is hers. It's not yours. It's hers. It's not yours at all. Do you think the property of Khadija radiallahu anha belonged to the Prophet Muhammad? It wasn't his. It was hers. And then she was using the property to help him propagate Islam. Nowhere did he ever say that it was because she's his wife, it belongs to her. Responsibilities and duties. And when she dies, as we said earlier on, there are people who will inherit her. You are not the only one. If the property of a woman solely belongs to her husband, if she dies, it will belong to him throughout. But Islam says no. If she has a mother, if she has children, if she has so and so people, they will also inherit. Sometimes they will inherit more than the man. And sometimes you will inherit more than them, depending on the people there. So it's not about the properties being you and your wife is your property. So you can use whatever you want. Mala, you are lying. So, Sheikh, what's it with a man who borrowed money from his wife and then later refused to pay, saying she's his wife and then her properties are his? He's lying. If he refuses to pay in this dunya, in the akhirah, he will pay. Yes, he will pay. He will pay. He will pay. If a woman, if let me tell you something. The Prophet ﷺ said, if a man marries a woman and then he is not able to give her dowry because of one or two reasons, but then in his heart he is not willing, he is not interested. He is not interested in paying her dowry. He will wake up on the day of Qiyamah as a fornicator. Yes. Does Islam permit the change of the name to her husbands? It is haram. That thing is haram. Muslim women, are you listening? Don't get up and then your father's name to your husband. It is not Islamic. It is not Islamic. You are not his property. That is why you don't have to change your father's name to his name. Islam doesn't see that husband's name. In there you become Mrs. Kaza, Mrs. Kaza. My wife is maintaining her father's name on her documents. She's not going to change her father's name to my name. No, Islam doesn't see that. Oh, you are doing it out of love. So if he divorces you and then you are going to get married to another man, you have to go to the court, swear affidavit, change your surname again. You get married to another man, you change your surname again. No. Call people with their father's names. Can I enjoy my money for myself without being punished from my husband? Why will your husband punish you if you are enjoying your money? It is your money. If he is punishing you because of your money, then he is doing something un-Islamic. He is just being egoistic. That's all. Egoistic. Acknowledges the fact that women can own property. Women can own businesses. And then they can dispose of their properties the way they want, so long as it's in line with the Sharia. The only time the husband can prevent you from disposing of your property is when you are doing something against the Sharia. That's the only time he can prevent you. And even in a marriage, what is like punishment? What is punishment? Why will a man want to punish his wife? What for? What for? Why will a man think that my wife, I must punish her? For what reason will a man want to punish his wife? It's not understandable. I don't understand it. Men. Wallahi, fear Allah. Fear Allah. Wallahi, fear Allah. Men, let's fear Allah. Wallahi, fear Allah. Because the way things are going on in some marriages, hey, nice on the day of Qiyamah. It will be nice and beautiful. Some men have turned their wives into slaves. Some men have turned their wives into rags. Some men have turned their wives into punching bags. Some men are abusing their wives psychologically, emotionally. Some men are tearing their wives down. When we talk الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض وبما أنفقوا من أموالهم. You didn't understand the verse. You are misusing the verse. You think the verse gave you a privilege. The verse is talking about your responsibility. It is not a privilege. It's a responsibility. That the verse, the Surah Nisa chapter is talking about. It is that Islam has given you. You find the word Qiyamah upside down and then you think it's a privilege. It's a responsibility. It's a responsibility. So we need to really understand our women. A woman has a right. So we said three things. There is at-talaq, which is in the hand of the man. There is khulu, which is in the hand of the woman. And then there is fasakh nikah, which is in the hands of the judge. A man will be with his wife, using her, and then divorce her. I won't divorce her. Divorce her. You don't love her. You are abusing her. Divorce her. I won't divorce her. Then she can seek for khulu. She can file for divorce. That this man is not treating me well. I can't stay in there. And the Sharia will accept it. Or if the woman does not know her rights, and the man is abusing her, then this can come in and then they break up the marriage. And then mind you, the situation of the time of the Prophet Muhammad, when that woman sought for divorce, it's not because her husband was maltreating her. We said that hadith yesterday. A woman came to the Prophet Muhammad and she said, Ya Rasulullah, my husband, he's a good man. I don't have any complaints against him. But then I feel if I continue staying with him, I'll compromise my deen. This woman didn't bring any complaint about the husband. She just wants to leave. So the scholars are saying, khulu happens when a woman is that she doesn't face any problems with her husband. But then for one reason or the other, she wants to leave the marriage. But if a man is abusing his wife, first nikah, the judges should not even wait for the woman to come and seek for divorce. No. If a man is abusing a woman in the marriage, the judges, the elders in the community shouldn't wait for her to evidence to show that this man is abusive, he's here, he's doing all these things. They come in and then they break up the whether he likes it or not. That is our Sharia. That is how it has protect the woman. Sheikh, can a man refrain from overspending in weddings? For example, is buki a religious thing or a culture thing? Is it permissible? Yes, a man can refrain from overspending in weddings. Yes, it is the Sunnah of Muhammad overspending in weddings. He doesn't accept that. Even the Quran said, "Wala tubadhir tabdhira." Don't be extravagant when you are spending. For example, is buki a religious thing? Buki means party. So there's walima in Islam. But then the way that we are doing it is not Islamic. Party is accepted. Yes, wedding party. Yes. The women are wedding, the men are activity. When you eat, you leave. Don't eat and stay there and then do gossip and minini. You eat, you leave. That's all. If you want to stay behind to stay with the bride or the bridegroom, no problem. But then what we do in our communities is haram. Where mixing of men and women, that is not acceptable. Yes, Islam recognizes a form of mixing between men and women. Yes, it is there, but not the one that we do. If there's a need for men and women to mix in Islam, it is there. Islam has stated it. But then what we do is... Okay, brothers and sisters in Islam, I think our time is fast spent. I have another meeting that I must, be present at. Thank you very much for your time. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll look at something else other than, the Sharia. We're speaking about the Sharia for more than 10 days now. Inshallah, khairan. And please remember us in your prayers. Remember us in your prayers. Inshallah, it's very, very important for us. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. Stay safe in these times. Love your women. Protect them. Adore them. Cherish them. What is the least amount you can spend on a wedding? It depends on your abilities and capabilities. It depends. If you earn 10,000 Ghana cedis a month, you don't throw a party of 50,000 Ghana cedis. It means you are going to spend your 5 months salary on one day. It doesn't make sense. So spend according to your means. That's it. No need to go and borrow anything from anybody. No need to go and borrow anything from anybody. Yeah, yes, today my network is very, very bad. I don't know what happened, but my network is very, very bad. Anyway, stay safe, be good. May Almighty Allah protect us all. It's been a wonderful time today, but just that my network has been very, very, very unstable. Yes. Yesterday I was teasing the network in Africa. Today my network here has given me out. Thank you very much for passing by. May Almighty Allah safeguard us all. Stay safe. Barakallahu fikum. Respect your women. Wallahi, respect them. Respect the women. Wattaqullaha alladhi tasa'aluna bihi wal arham. Respect the women. Let's respect them. Seriously. When we respect them, they will return the respect back. It is like that. Let's protect the rights of our women. Let's fight for the rights of our women. Let's fight for the rights of our women. Yes. It's very, very important. Thank you very much for listening to us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.